Hello, welcome to another tip in the Vocal Athlete series. This tip, I think, is a great tip in that many of us would have experienced this. We're going to be looking at maximum output versus endurance. And again, let's consider what happens with an athlete. So if we take a sprinter, for example, a sprinter, when the gun goes, there's maximum output. They literally give it everything they've got to reach maximum speed as quickly as possible. Now, they have different phases that they go through. The initial drive phase, and then you have, once they've reached maximum speed, then they have the maintenance phase, where they have to maintain their speed. And that's where you get towards the end of the race, whether you're talking about a 400 or 200 or even 100. Towards the latter half of the race, you get the whole speed stroke endurance coming in, where they're trying to maintain maximum speed all the way to the finish line. And usually sometimes they say, the person who seems to be running the fastest at that point, it's not that they're running faster than anybody else, but they're just slowing down at a slower rate. But one thing that we should take note is that when you look at once they've reached maximum output or maximum speed, they cannot give it anymore. If they try to run faster at that point, the exact opposite happens. So they will tie up, they will all the muscles will become tight and will ultimately slow them down, because they're trying to give more than what is available. And so if they try to speed up once they've hit maximum speed, or sometimes you might see an athlete coming up behind them, or and then they try to speed up and get all tense and tight, and then you just see them just slowing down, basically. So the exact opposite happens of what they're trying to do. Now that's an important thing, because obviously when the mechanics of singing is very muscular in nature, there's a lot of mechanics and muscular movements and contracting and releasing, all of that kind of stuff going on. Now when we get to a point, and this is something to take note as well, in that we need to understand where our maximum output is. We need to know when we are, at maximum velocity, because once we get to that point, it's important for us to understand that no matter how much more we give, we can't give any more. You can't go any faster. You can't get any louder. And if you try to give more and try to push more, then the exact opposite happens. Now your tone starts to be affected, and even your pitch most likely will be affected. So it's important to understand that once you get to maximum output, you cannot give any more. Now, the thing is, what do you do to maintain that maximum output? One key: relax. Relax. One of I love watching his commentary on athletics is Michael Johnson, and every time he's assessing or analyzing the sprinters, all the phases that they're going through, he always talks about when you get to the point where you're at maximum speed, the most important thing is to just relax. and just continue momentum. There's no more you can do. Just relax and continue as you were. So it's important for us to understand that when we get to maximum output, if we want to be able to endure and keep on going at that output, we have to remember to relax. At that point, less indeed is more. Because if you try to give it more, you will take away. You will end up with less. You will have way too much muscular tension, way too much restriction, and you will tie up just like an athlete does. And so it's key to remember to relax and just to continue as you were. Don't try to give it more. You don't want to give it less, but you just want to relax. And that will help you in your endurance. So you will be able to continue to sing at that velocity, at that pitch, for a longer, more sustained period if you learn to relax rather than trying to push more than what you can physically give. Okay, so it's very important to understand and to know when you are operating at maximum velocity, maximum volume, yeah, so that you know where not to try and give it anymore. So I hope this tip helps somebody. I know it definitely helped myself in terms of discovering, that you get to a certain point, you just cannot give it anymore. You are operating at absolute maximum. If you try to give it more, your voice will crack. Your pitching goes. You start to sound tight, and basically you just lose your finesse. Everything goes out the window when you try to give more past what you can physically give. So just remember, the key is to relax, 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 relax. All right, take care. Until the next time. All right, bye-bye.